Today on Bobby Learns. I'm going to go back to Unity and I'm going to be working on the Starfield game. So where we left off last time was my stars were spheres that were just hanging there in the air. The player could move around, but the stars were not moving at the player, so I actually want to make these much smaller so they look more like stars, and I want to shoot them at the player. If we get to it, taking off hit points, things like that, putting a display up that indicates how well they're doing. In the meantime, today's 2-liter takedown is Zero Sugar Sam's Cola. So, if you've got your own drink, feel free to take a sip with me. I am out of time. So where we are is that, see the stars flying at me? That was a bit too fast. So there's definitely the idea of like them hitting the player. I wanted to make something where there's kind of like a force field for the user. So that's why I have one of these walls as visible. Changed it into something called a trigger rather than a solid object. I had to edit first-person controller to warp you closer to your center point when you hit it. And that was actually a lot harder than I thought it would be. I spent the first about 20-25 minutes just dealing with the update issues from going from 2018 to 2020. There were several problems. Let me show you the warping there. So it doesn't change your view, it just kind of moves you back to center. Not exactly center, but close. So I'd like to make this kind of a grid pattern so it's easy to see what happens. Eventually I would like to have sounds on it, get that audio feedback when it happens. You get the visual feedback as you kind of like, it actually teleports you into the floor and you kind of pop up. So one of the reasons that I made this into a trigger instead of a solid material is so that the stars could go through it. Otherwise, they were bouncing off the walls here. All right, until next time. So I realized that I had indicated that the stars were bouncing off the walls, but you didn't really get to see that. So I'm putting in an extra recording so we can watch it in action. Certainly wish I had sounds to go along with this. So I'm two-liter takedown complete. It is 8:14. Quick one.